And, Mr. Blanche, how many taxpayers' returns were leaked by the IRS contractor in the 2020 breach?
How many taxpayers, excuse me?
How many taxpayers' returns were leaked by the IRS contractor in the 2020 breach?
I don't know the exact amount, but a lot.
405,427. One of them was Donald Trump, correct? One of them was Donald Trump, correct?
It was Donald Trump and his family or others, correct.
Right. And Donald Trump was president at the time.
Correct.
So it was his IRS department that allowed this breach of privacy, correct?
It was a criminal who worked in the IRS, yes.
Well, he was hired under Trump's admin. This is one of the Trump.
Well, there was a criminal breach that led to this, yes.
Very good. How many of these 400,000 people have received monetary reimbursement for the breach?
I don't think any have, including the president.
No, they haven't. But you've authorized the president. Do you agree the president should have reimbursement, correct?
No, we settled the case. No, there's no reimbursement to President Trump.
Well, that's interesting.
Senator,
so President Trump, you're going to assure us President Trump and his family will get no proceeds from this?
Correct. He will not.
He will not get. His family will not get.
Correct.
And who will direct the distribution of these? Who gets the money?
From the
right.
Victims Fund?
Oh.
Well, there'll be a commission of 5 individuals that will be set up, and they will take in requests and claims and decide whether to do anything for Mission
Who
Apollo.
will name the commissioners?
I will. Or the Attorney General, whoever the Attorney General is.
The Attorney General. Okay.
Sorry, just to correct. And one of them will be done in consultation with leadership of this body.
Consultation. Well, that's good. But when he first announced this suit on January 30th, he said, I think what we'll do is something for charity, where I'll give the money to charity. I'm talking about the American Cancer Society. I would say established and respected charities. Will you fulfill the president's wish that it goes to respected charities?
I'm aware that he put that in or said that, but that's not ultimately what the settlement calls for.
Well, the settlement was negotiated between his lawyers and the Department of Justice, correct?
Correct.
So his lawyers did not urge that they adopt the president's vision of giving it to a respectable charity?
I am confident his lawyers urged the president's desires. Obviously, there's not a charity.
The order that you signed yesterday states that the government pay this settlement if the Secretary of Treasury has certified the payment. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is it a coincidence that the General Counsel of the Department of Treasury resigned yesterday?
I don't know if it's a coincidence.
Yeah. Have you looked, checked?
Have I checked?
Yeah.
I have not. As to why he resigned?
It just seems to be very coincidental that a high-ranking member of the Department of Treasury, Senate confirmed, would resign the day that the Treasury Department was required essentially to certify these payments.
Well, I believe the IRS signed the settlement agreement as well. But yes, but I can't speak to why he resigned, Senator.
Well, this all seems to be an obvious abuse of power by the Department of Justice, by the president. He negotiated essentially with himself. You're his appointee. The IRS are his appointees. He's the plaintiff. And the American people, I don't think, are surprised that suddenly all this money is going to his friends or people that he, in his orbit. Will you ensure that none of this money goes to anyone convicted on the January 6th attack on the Congress?
Well, the commissioners will determine who is eligible to receive the money.
And who are the commissioners?
They're not named yet.
Who will name them?
I will, or the Attorney General will. It's not me.
So, with the suggestion of the President of the United States?
Excuse me?
With the suggestion of the President of the United States, your boss?
I do not make suggestions. I will.
No. He will make suggestions to you.
I have no idea if he will or not. I really don't. I have no idea if he will or not.
I would be shocked if he didn't tell you exactly who to put on, and I'd be more shocked if you did not put them on. This is travesty of the law in the United States and the Constitution. You had an opportunity to go down and talk to Ghislaine Maxwell. And then a few days later, she was transferred from a high security prison to a very comfortable.
I mean, that's
very comfortable.
It's just not true. She was not in a high security prison. She was transferred from a low security prison to a low security prison. I mean, you're looking at me like that's verifiable.
Well, I don't think at the other prison she had her own room. She had access to a private shower. She could have pet therapy. And
I don't know if any of that is true. I'm not disagreeing with you.
It is true, and you should know it, Mr. Attorney.
I should know that?
You should know.
Whether an inmate has access to her own shower?
No. This is a person of extra special interest to the President of the United States. He's known her. Why did he send you down to talk to her?
He didn't send me. I went. What do you mean? You think President Trump called and asked me to go interview a witness in federal prison? Honestly?
Yes, I do, frankly.
Well,
because you know why? Because the deal was in. He needed somebody he could rely. He needed somebody he could rely upon to talk to her and say, what would she say if she was asked about Jeffrey Epstein? And you were the perfect choice. And you went down there, and suddenly, shazam! She's out of what is a more confining situation into a much more relaxed federal prison.
Every word that I asked her is recorded and available to you to review. If there's criticisms of the question that I asked her, go ahead and make them. But the president did not have anything to do with my choice to go interview Ms. Maxwell. If I wouldn't have went and a career would have went, you would have said, why didn't you go yourself? Just like you expect me to know whether she has access to her own shower.
You
so
should.
I did go.
What you just heard is the part of the hearing Lynch came to build. He did not open with accusations. He opened with a number: 405,427 taxpayers. That is how many people had their private tax returns leaked by an IRS contractor in 2021. Lynch established the number. Then he established one name inside that number: Donald Trump. Then he established one more fact: Trump was president at the time of the breach. That sequence was not accidental. Lynch was constructing something before he asked the question that mattered. The question that mattered was about money, specifically about where the settlement money from that breach was going, who would decide, and whether the man who was both the plaintiff and the president would have any influence over the answer. Blanche confirmed the settlement existed. He confirmed Trump would receive no personal proceeds. He confirmed 5 commissioners would be appointed to determine how the victim fund would be distributed. Then Lynch asked who would name those commissioners. Blanche said he would, the Attorney General. Then Lynch pressed further, and Blanche added that one commissioner would be selected in consultation with congressional leadership. Consultation, not confirmation, not approval, consultation. That word is in the transcript. 2 things can be true at the same time. Blanche may be entirely correct that the structure of the commission was designed to provide independence, that the Attorney General appointing commissioners to administer a victim fund is standard legal practice, and that no mechanism exists in the settlement requiring presidential input into those appointments. He may also be correct that his confirmation that Trump would receive no personal proceeds was the clearest answer available to him, and that a senior Justice Department official should not speculate about conversations he has not been part of. Both of those are reasonable positions. What Lynch was asking, however, was not about legal structure. It was about distance. The distance between the President of the United States and the fund that bears his name as a victim, the man who was the plaintiff, the man whose appointee negotiated the settlement, the man whose appointees will name the commissioners. Lynch wanted the record to show how short that distance actually was. Blanche's answer showed it. He just did not say so himself. The most overlooked part of this exchange is what Lynch did with the date. On January 30th, before the settlement was finalized, Trump said publicly that the money should go to charity. He named the American Cancer Society. He said established and respected charities. Lynch put that on the record and then asked Blanche directly whether the settlement honored the president's stated wish. Blanche said it did not. Lynch asked whether Trump's own lawyers had urged that vision during negotiations. Blanche said he was confident they had. Then Lynch asked the question that had no clean answer. If the lawyers urged it and the president said it publicly, why is it not in the settlement? Blanche did not have an answer for that. He said he was confident. He said he was aware. He did not say why a public commitment made by the plaintiff, urged by his own legal team, did not appear in the document his Department of Justice signed. That gap is what this hearing leaves on the record. The most overlooked part of this exchange is what Lynch did after Blanche confirmed the commissioners had not yet been named. He did not move on. He returned to the same question in a different form. He noted that the President of the United States is Blanche's boss. He asked whether the president would make suggestions about who sits on the commission. Blanche said he had no idea. Lynch told him he would be shocked if he didn't. That exchange took less than 30 seconds. It is in the transcript. The transcript now contains every question Lynch asked. It contains every answer Blanche gave. It contains the silence where Blanche could have said, "The settlement reflects the president's publicly stated intention," and could not, because it does not. It contains the moment when the Attorney General designate confirmed that the man who is both the plaintiff and the president will have commissioners appointed by his own appointee in a fund created from a breach that occurred inside his own administration. Those words travel with this hearing into every future question about how the victim fund is administered. They travel into the names that eventually appear on that commission. They travel into the first distribution decision those commissioners make. And they travel into the question that will follow if any of those commissioners have any connection, professional or personal, to the orbit of the president who was also the plaintiff. So, was Lynch running real oversight, or was he running a political case against a settlement that gave the president nothing, while treating the process as if it gave him everything? Was Blanche delivering a legally defensible account of a standard victim fund structure, one insulated from presidential interference by design? Or was he declining to acknowledge that the architecture of this settlement placed every decision point inside the chain of command of the man it was supposed to compensate? Two different stories, same hearing, same official record. Tell me in the comments which version you walked away believing. If you stayed this long, subscribe. This story isn't finished.